For over 2 decades, Chris Martin has stood at the intersection of mass adoration and relentless skepticism, a frontman whose very success seems to invite ridicule from the gatekeepers of cool. As the voice and creative anchor of Coldplay, Martin has sold more than 100 million records, filled stadiums across every continent, and written songs that have become modern anthems of love, loss, and hope. Yet from the moment Coldplay emerged in the late 1990s, a chorus of critics has questioned their authenticity, dismissing their music as overly sentimental, middle of the road, or even calculated in its emotional reach. Where some artists might have buckled under the weight of such persistent derision, Martin has done something far more compelling. He has flourished in spite of it. The story begins in 2000, when Parachutes introduced Coldplay with a sound that was tender and unashamedly melodic. Songs like Yellow and Trouble signaled a band less interested in irony than in connection. The critical response was immediate and divided. Admirers hailed the album's vulnerability, but detractors sneered at its earnestness, accusing Coldplay of peddling safe, radio-friendly melancholy. Rather than retreat, Martin leaned into the very qualities that provoked the scorn. With a rush of blood to the head, 2002, Coldplay doubled down on sweeping balladry and grand emotional gestures, producing hits like Clocks and The Scientist that became generational touchstones even as the hipper corners of the music press rolled their eyes. What followed was a career defined by constant reinvention and unshakable optimism. Each new album, from the regal march of Viva la Vida or Death and All His Friends to the kaleidoscopic pop of Milo Xyloto and the electronic glow of music of the Spheres, has showcased Martin's refusal to stagnate. Where many arena rock bands calcify into nostalgia acts, Coldplay continues to chase new sounds, collaborating with artists as diverse as Beyoncé, BTS, Rihanna, and Brian Eno. To some critics, this openness reads as trend chasing. To Martin, it is simply curiosity, an ongoing experiment in how far the language of melody and joy can stretch. This evolution is matched by an unwavering sense of purpose. Martin's lyrics, often derided as simple, are in fact deliberately universal, designed to be sung by tens of thousands of strangers in unison. Songs like Fix You, Viva la Vida, and A Sky Full of Stars are emotional lightning rods, crafted not for critics' approval but for communal release. In an age where irony is a shield and detachment a badge of honor, Martin's willingness to be unguarded, to write about love, redemption, and wonder without a trace of cynicism, is its own quiet rebellion. He thrives because he refuses to play the game of cool. Offstage, Martin reinforces this paradox. His relationships with Gwyneth Paltrow and Dakota Johnson have placed him in the tabloid spotlight, yet he remains strikingly unpretentious. He speaks openly about meditation, environmental activism, and the spiritual dimensions of music, projecting a warmth that feels almost radical in a celebrity culture addicted to snark. He is, by his own admission, more interested in connection than in conquest, a rock star who measures success not in critical accolades but in the shared energy of a crowd singing back every word. Today, as Coldplay continues to sell out stadiums and rack up billions of streams, the sneers have softened but never fully disappeared. And perhaps that is precisely why Martin endures. His career is proof that sincerity, when delivered with conviction, can outlast fashion. Critics may bristle at the unabashed sentimentality of a song like Everglow, or the euphoric spectacle of a Coldplay concert, but for the millions who leave those shows uplifted and united, the verdict is clear: the music works. In the end, Chris Martin is a different kind of rock god, not one who thrives on danger or rebellion, but one who dares to be open in a world that rewards irony. His greatest triumph is not just Coldplay's commercial dominance, but his ability to turn vulnerability into power, to meet every sneer with a melody, and to remind the world that joy, too, can be a radical.